The movie is set in Harlem, New York City, 1989. Private Detective John Shaft is in a heated argument with his current girlfriend Maya Babanikos in the middle of the street. Shaft is silent, but she keeps screaming down his ear. All of a sudden they are approached by some armed criminals. Before they have a chance to attack, Shaft spots them. He protects his girl as the thugs open fire on their car. He leaves the car and deals with the thugs. After canceling their memberships to Life, he checks one of their wallets. He finds some snow and then returns to the car. His girlfriend goes back to screaming at him again. It is revealed that their baby son, JJ, was sitting in the back seat the whole time. Their son is okay. Shaq agrees that his life is too dangerous and puts the family in danger. The two part ways. Over the next 25 years, Shaft remains invisible from JJ's life. Kind of like your dad. JJ barely knows who Shaft even is. Occasionally he receives gifts from his father and Shaft continues to live his dangerous life. JJ has managed to grow up okay thanks to his friends, Sasha Arias and Kareem Hassan. He graduates from MIT and becomes a cybersecurity expert for the FBI. After a montage of him growing up, we see him head into work. Kareem calls him and asks him if they can hang out sometime. The two of them catch up on the phone until JJ is interrupted by his boss. Special Agent Vietti briefs JJ and the others on the need for extra surveillance on a mosque they believe is dangerous. Specifically a man named Imam Farrokh Bahar. The FBI think he is suspicious since he takes frequent trips to Afghanistan. Vietti asks the team of FBI members who wants to lead the case. JJ volunteers but Vietti refuses. He thinks JJ is underqualified. Vietti calls him a rookie and tells him to learn his place. After work, JJ heads to a bar. He meets a girl who shows interest in him. However, she leaves when she finds out what he does for a living. He meets up with Kareem and Sasha for a reunion. Kareem is now a former Marine and recovering addict. He talks about his new program he started, Brothers Watching Brothers. It is dedicated to helping vets who have struggled with addiction after serving their country. He gets a text from someone and leaves abruptly. JJ chases after him to check he is okay. Kareem assures JJ that everything is fine. Kareem thanks him for always supporting him and the two hug it out. Don't forget to hug your homies. The next morning, JJ receives a call from his mother, Maya. She tells him Kareem has been found dead. JJ is understandably upset but is also confused. Kareem's funeral is held. His friends, family and fellow Marines are all there mourning him. After the service, Sasha and JJ argue about his death. The police claim it was an overdose, but JJ is certain that Kareem was clean. He decides he is going to look further into his friend's death. He looks at a crime scene report and finds the place where Kareem died. It is the building of a known dealer named Manny Orozco. He goes around the area and bumps into a neighborhood kid. The kid makes fun of him for how he is dressed. JJ asks him if he knows where Manny is. It costs him, but the kid gives up the information. JJ enters the building. He finds Manny. Manny approaches him and starts asking questions, trying to be intimidating. It works and JJ is nervous. He pulls his phone out and asks Manny about Kareem. He doesn't get an answer. Instead, he is knocked out by one of his goons. When JJ regains consciousness, he is in the hospital. His friend Sasha, who is a nurse, is taking care of him. They both know something isn't right. Kareem's death was no accident. JJ realizes that Manny is never going to tell him what happened to Kareem. So he decides to go to Shaft for help. This is the first time he has met his father. Shaft doesn't even recognize his own son. He makes fun of him for how he is dressed. JJ is upset that his father abandoned him. Shaft looks down on his son when he finds out he works for the FBI. The two argue with each other. Although their encounter is tense, JJ admits that he needs his father's help solving the case. Shaft looks over the case and notices that JJ has been hit. When he finds out it was one of Manny's goons, he takes JJ back to the building where he was knocked out for a little father-son bonding. Shaft takes out Manny's goons and shoots them in the legs for hurting his son. He finds Manny and the two of them already know each other. When Manny realizes JJ is Shaft's son, he runs away as fast as he can. He makes it all the way to the street, but Shaft causes a truck to stop and Manny runs into it. Shaft interrogates him. Manny insists he hadn't seen Kareem in a long time. Ever since Kareem started going to the Brothers Watching Brothers program. The father and son think he is telling the truth and continue their investigation elsewhere. They head to the rehab center where Brothers Watching Brothers is located. Shaft and JJ argue again. This time over the fact that Shaft is so abrasive and violent while JJ is more soft and timid by comparison. JJ wants to continue the investigation alone, but his father won't let him. Shaft says he isn't experienced enough and will need his help. When they arrive, they meet Kareem's friends. Major Gary Cutworth aka Cutty, Sergeant Keith Williams and Sergeant Eddie Dominguez. They talk things out. They mention that Kareem became more religious after he started attending a local mosque. The same mosque that Special Agent Vietti mentioned at the start of the movie. The deeper Kareem got into religion, the less he showed up to Brothers Watching Brothers. He got into religion because of his girlfriend who also goes to the mosque. Dominguez is uncomfortable talking about Kareem and his death. Shaft and JJ leave, but Shaft seems suspicious. That night he takes his son to a nightclub. He thinks JJ is too uptight and wants him to loosen up. JJ just wants to go home, but his father convinces him to stay. At the nightclub, JJ is introduced to two party girls, Baby and Sugar. The two of them are surprised to find out Shaft has a son. JJ gets drunk with the girls. Shaft goes to talk to his informant buddy, Freddy. He asks Freddy if he can find some information out about Sergeant Eddie Dominguez. Shaft doesn't like how he acted when they met. Their conversation is cut short when he notices JJ getting into a fight with another guy. Luckily JJ knows capoeira, a Brazilian art form that combines elements of martial arts and dance. He wins the fight pretty easily and everyone is both impressed and surprised, including his father. However, he ruins the moment by barfing on both Baby and Sugar. Shaft takes his drunk son home and puts him to bed. A wholesome moment between the two of them. In the morning, JJ is extremely hungover. He goes to the mosque with Shaft and Sasha meets them there. They are there to talk to Kareem's girlfriend Anam. Anam tells them about their relationship until she is interrupted by her father, Imam Farik Bahar. He is the man the FBI is concerned about. When Farik discovers that JJ is in the FBI, he orders them all to leave. Sasha goes back to work at the hospital. JJ and Shaft look further into the mosque. JJ gets a call from Maya. Shaft doesn't want her to know the two of them are hanging out together, so JJ lies to his mother. After some research, JJ finds out that the mosque was gifted $500,000 from a recently opened supermarket. His boss calls him and tells him not to come into work for a while. He isn't happy that JJ disobeyed orders by going to the mosque and wants him to stop meddling in the investigation. The father and son duo head to the supermarket to meet with the manager, Benny. She gets defense and punches JJ in the face. Shaq takes out his gun to get info out of Benny. Benny talks. She tells them that she was just supporting the mosque by sending them money and that there is nothing else going on. Shaft doesn't believe Benny, so he finds a picture of her in his files. She is standing next to a man named Gordito, the head of the biggest gang in Harlem. This leads JJ to suspect that the supermarket is just a front for Gordito to launder his gang money. He also believes Farik takes frequent trips to Afghanistan to bring in supply. Kareem likely found out about this and was dealt with before he could tell anyone. JJ reveals that he planted a micro camera on Benny's desk so that they can watch her. The two take the night off. Later that night, Shaft goes to a restaurant where Maya is on a date with a nerdy guy named Ron. When Maya sees Shaft, she gets flustered at his presence. She thinks he is trying to crash the place to get her back. Maya returns from the bathroom and finds Shaft talking to her date. Moments later, Shaft spots gunmen entering the restaurant. They start shooting at him, so Shaft protects Maya. Shaft is competent and deals with the gunmen, whereas Ron is a coward and hides in the corner screaming. JJ is at a different restaurant with Sasha. She is worried about JJ and Shaft's relationship. She reminds him that his father abandoned him when he was young. They are also targeted by gunmen. Sasha watches as JJ takes her gun and shoots at the bad guys. He deals with them all just like his father. Shaft takes Ron's car and rushes to JJ with his mom. Maya is not happy when she learns that Shaft has been hanging out with JJ behind her back. JJ looks at one of the gunmen's phones and calls the employer's phone number. With his hidden camera, he sees that Benny was the one who ordered the hit on the Shafts. John Shaft is proud of his son. Unfortunately, your father will never be this proud of you. JJ takes the phone to the FBI. Using the information on it, they raid the mosque and arrest Farik. This draws a lot of media attention and the public start to accuse the FBI of being against Islam. Vietti fires JJ after the mess that transpires. Shaft talks to Freddy again, who gives him information on Sergeant Eddie Dominguez. It turns out that he is cousins with Benny. Hopefully now he can end this case and send his son back to Maya. JJ walks in at a bad time and overhears him saying this. He angrily walks away from his father. This prompts Shaft to rethink his actions. He knows he hasn't been the best father in the world. He goes to apologize to Maya for his absence and behavior. The moment is ruined when Shaft tries to get freaky. JJ and Sasha head back to Brothers Watching Brothers to investigate Dominguez. JJ enters and sees Cuddy, Dominguez, and Williams meeting, and he records it on his phone. All three of them are involved with Gordito, and that Kareem was killed to stop him revealing their secrets. Dominguez is scared because he knows the Shafts are about to solve the case. Cuddy sees that Dominguez is having second thoughts. He kills him for getting soft. JJ is spotted when he makes noise. He tries to run away but realizes that Sasha has been taken hostage. His father arrives on the scene to save the day. JJ gets away but they still have Sasha. Shaft explains that he never wanted to abandon JJ, but had to leave to protect him. Shaft and JJ visit the home of the only other person who can help them, John Shaft Sr. Shaft Sr. supplies his son and grandson with guns to go after Gordito and Cuddy. He insists on joining in on the action. The three Shafts arrive at Gordito's building. He is in the middle of a meeting with Cuddy and Williams over a new shipment. JJ tries to hack into the cameras to avoid detection, but the lack of Wi-Fi leads to a glitch. Thinking quickly, The three of them flee from an elevator after they are spotted by Gordito's men on the cameras. They bust through a window and begin fighting the villains. Gordito's henchmen are killed, and so is Williams. JJ gets into a fight with Cuddy. Before Cuddy can shoot JJ, he stabs Cuddy in the leg with glass and then puts a bullet in him. Everyone has a short reunion until Gordito enters and points a gun at them. Gordito tries to shoot JJ but Shaft dives in front of the bullet. Shaft Sr. throws a knife at Gordito which disarms him. Shaft then shoots Gordito multiple times and cancels his membership to life. He then passes out from blood loss. When he wakes up he is in the hospital with everyone around him. Maya forgives Shaft and thanks him for protecting their son. JJ and Sasha kiss. The FBI try to hire him again by offering a promotion. JJ declines his offer and instead goes to work with his father and grandfather. The three Shafts walk away in style.